Imagine biting into a sweet, juicy mango that you grew yourself. Now imagine doing it on a tiny balcony in the middle of a big city. Most people think this is impossible. They think you need acres of land and a tropical climate. They are wrong. You can grow a massive, fruit-bearing mango tree in a pot no bigger than a laundry basket. It sounds crazy, but it works. If you want to see exactly how to do it, hit that subscribe button right now. We are going to change the way you look at container gardening forever. I have seen this work with my own eyes. I have watched a seedling, started in a small plastic cup, transform into a lush green tree standing 3 feet tall in a 10-gallon pot. It did not just survive, it thrived. It produced flowers. And yes, it dropped real, edible fruit. This was not in a greenhouse in Florida. This was on a concrete patio in a zone where winter gets cold. The tree was healthy, the leaves were shiny, and the owner was harvesting their own homegrown mangoes. This is not a myth, it is a method. And today, I am going to give you that method. You probably have a dream of growing your own food. Maybe you love mangoes. You love the taste, the smell, the texture. But when you look at your living situation, you feel stuck. Maybe you live in an apartment. Maybe you only have a small backyard. Maybe you rent and you cannot dig up the ground. You buy a mango from the store, eat the flesh, and look at the big seed. You think, I could grow this. So you stick it in some dirt. Weeks go by, nothing happens. Or worse, it sprouts, grows a few leaves, and then turns brown and dies. You feel frustrated. You feel like you are not cut out for gardening. You think mango trees are too big, too demanding, or just not meant for people like you. That feeling is heavy. It makes you want to give up before you even start. Here is the simple truth about why most people fail. Mango trees are not actually difficult to grow, they are just misunderstood. The root cause of failure is almost always space and water management. In the ground, a mango tree sends its roots deep and wide. It finds water and nutrients on its own. In a pot, the roots are trapped. They hit the sides of the container, they run out of room. If the soil holds too much water, the roots rot. If the soil dries out too fast, the tree starves. Most people treat a potted mango like a houseplant. They water it once a week. They use heavy garden soil. They keep it in the shade. This is a recipe for disaster. A mango tree in a pot is a different animal than a mango tree in the ground. It needs a specific environment to feel safe. Once you understand what the roots need, everything else becomes easy. Let's break this down into simple, actionable steps. You do not need expensive tools. You do not need a degree in botany. You just need to follow these steps carefully. Step 1 is choosing the right variety. This is the most critical step, and most people skip it. If you plant a seed from a grocery store mango, you are playing a lottery. That tree might grow huge. It might take 10 years to fruit. The fruit might be stringy and sour. For a pot, you need a dwarf variety. Dwarf means small. These trees are bred to stay compact. They have strong branches, but short internodes, which is just a fancy way of saying the leaves grow close together. Look for names like Julie, Coggeshall, or Irwin. These are known as condo mangoes. They are perfect for containers. If you must grow from a grocery store seed, know that it will be a long journey. But if you buy a grafted dwarf tree from a nursery, you are starting with a head start. The tree already knows how to make fruit. It is genetically programmed to stay smaller. This saves you years of waiting and guessing. Step 2 is selecting the right pot. Do not start with a huge container. This is a common mistake. A tiny seedling in a giant pot will drown. The soil stays wet for too long. Start small. Use a 1-gallon or 2-gallon pot for your young tree. As the tree grows, you will move it up. Think of it like buying shoes for a child. You do not buy adult-sized shoes for a toddler. You buy what fits now, and you upgrade later. When you are ready for the final home, choose a pot that is at least 15 to 20 gallons. But here is the secret. The material matters more than the size. Avoid glazed ceramic pots if you live in a hot area. They get very hot and can cook the roots. Plastic pots are lightweight and cheap, but they can degrade in the sun. Fabric grow bags are excellent because they let air reach the roots. This prevents root circling. However, fabric bags dry out very fast. If you choose fabric, you must water often. A sturdy plastic nursery pot is often the best balance. It holds moisture well, but is light enough to move. Make sure whatever pot you choose has drainage holes. No holes, no tree. It is that simple. Step 3 is the soil mix. Never use garden soil from the ground. It is too heavy. It compacts in a pot. It suffocates the roots. You need a mix that drains quickly but holds some moisture. Think of a sponge that is damp but not dripping. A good rule of thumb is the 50-50 rule. Mix 50% high-quality potting mix with 50% perlite or coarse sand. Perlite looks like little white rocks. It creates air pockets in the soil. This allows oxygen to reach the roots. Mango roots need to breathe. If they sit in wet, dense mud, they will rot. You can also add some compost for nutrients, but keep it light. The goal is fluffy, airy soil. When you water, the water should flow through the pot and come out the bottom within seconds. If it pools on top, your mix is too heavy. Add more perlite. This simple adjustment solves 80% of health issues. Step 4 is planting. Be gentle. Mango trees have sensitive roots. If you are starting from a seed, let it sprout in a baggie or a cup of water first. Once it has a root and a shoot, plant it carefully. Do not bury the stem too deep. Plant it at the same level it was growing before. If you are transplanting a nursery tree, remove it from its original pot gently. Loosen the outer roots slightly if they are circling. Place it in the new pot. Fill in the gaps with your soil mix. Press down lightly. Do not pack it tight. You want the roots to be able to push through the soil easily. Water it thoroughly after planting. This settles the soil around the roots. Step 5 is sunlight. Mangoes are sun worshippers. They need full sun. This means at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. If you are indoors, this is very hard to achieve. A windowsill is usually not enough. You might need a grow light. If you are outdoors, place the pot in the sunniest spot you have. South facing is best in the northern hemisphere. Do not hide the tree in the shade of other plants. It will become leggy. It will stretch for light. The leaves will turn pale. It will not flower. Sunlight is energy. Without it, the tree cannot make sugar. Without sugar, it cannot make fruit. If you live in a very hot climate, afternoon shade might help prevent leaf burn, but morning sun is non-negotiable. Step 6 is watering. This is where most people kill their trees. Overwatering is the number 1 killer. Underwatering is number 2. Finding the balance is key. Stick your finger into the soil. Go down about 2 inches. If it feels dry, water it. If it feels damp, wait. Do not water on a schedule. Water on demand. Weather changes. Humidity changes. Your tree's needs change. In the summer, you might water every day. In the winter, you might water once a week. Learn to read the plant. Drooping leaves can mean too much water or too little. Check the soil first. When you water, do it deeply. Let the water run out the bottom. This flushes out old salts and brings fresh oxygen to the roots. Do not just sprinkle the top. That does nothing. Step 7 is feeding. A potted tree has limited resources. It cannot search for food. You must provide it. Use a balanced fertilizer. Look for numbers like October 10th, 10 or 888. This means equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen helps leaves grow. Phosphorus helps roots and flowers. Potassium helps overall health. Feed your tree every month during the growing season. Spring and summer are growing times. Stop feeding in the fall and winter. The tree is resting. If you feed it when it is sleeping, you can burn the roots. You can also use organic options like fish emulsion or seaweed extract. These are gentle and provide trace minerals. Magnesium is important for mangoes. If the leaves turn yellow between the veins, your tree might need magnesium. Epsom salts can help with this. Dissolve a tablespoon in a gallon of water and use it as a foliar spray. Spray the leaves directly. The tree absorbs it quickly. Step 8 is pruning. Yes, you need to cut your tree. It sounds scary, but it is necessary. Pruning controls the size. It encourages branching. A single straight stick will not produce much fruit. You want a bushy shape. When the tree is about 12 inches tall, cut the top off. This is called topping. It forces the tree to send out side branches. More branches mean more places for flowers to grow. Keep the tree open. Remove any branches that cross each other. Remove any dead wood. Good air circulation prevents disease. Prune in the spring, just before new growth starts. Do not prune heavily in the fall. You want the tree to harden off before winter. Step 9 is dealing with pests. Even indoor trees get bugs. Aphids, spider mites, and scale insects love mango trees. Check your tree regularly. Look under the leaves. Look at the stems. If you see sticky residue, you have pests. If you see tiny webs, you have spider mites. Catch them early. You can wash them off with a strong stream of water. You can use insecticidal soap. Neem oil is a great natural option. It disrupts the life cycle of the bugs. Apply it in the evening so you do not burn the leaves in the sun. Consistency is key. One treatment is not enough. You may need to apply it weekly for a few weeks. Healthy trees resist pests better. Keep your tree strong with good soil and sun, and bugs will be less of a problem. Step 10 is winter care. If you live in a cold zone, you must bring your tree inside. Mangoes hate frost. Temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit can damage them. Below 32, they can die. Bring the pot inside before the first frost. Place it near a bright window. Reduce watering. The tree will slow down. It might drop some leaves. This is normal. Do not panic. Do not overwater it because it looks sad. It is just resting. Keep it away from cold drafts and heating vents. Dry air from heaters can stress the tree. You can mist the leaves occasionally to add humidity. When spring returns and nights are warm, move it back outside. Do this gradually. Sudden sun exposure can scorch the leaves. Start with a few hours of sun, then increase it over a week. Now let's talk about the mistakes that ruin all this hard work. Most people make these errors without realizing it. The first mistake is using the wrong soil. People grab a bag of topsoil from the hardware store. It is cheap and easy, but it turns into concrete in a pot. The roots cannot breathe. The tree stops growing. It sits there, stagnant. Always use a porous, airy mix. The second mistake is overpotting. People think bigger is better. They put a small plant in a huge pot. The soil stays wet for weeks. The roots rot. The tree dies. Always size up gradually. Move from a 1 gallon to a 3 gallon, then to a 5 gallon. Give the roots time to fill the space. The third mistake is ignoring drainage. People drill no holes, or the holes get clogged. Water sits at the bottom. The roots sit in a swamp. Rot sets in. Always check the holes. Elevate the pot on feet or bricks so water can escape freely. The fourth mistake is inconsistent watering. People forget the tree for 2 weeks, then drown it to make up for it. This stress causes leaf drop and flower abortion. The tree gets confused. It does not know if it is in a desert or a swamp. Find a routine that works for your lifestyle. If you travel, get a self-watering system or ask a friend to help. The fifth mistake is expecting fruit too soon. A grafted tree might fruit in 2 to 3 years. A seedling might take 5 to 7. Patience is part of gardening. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the green leaves. Enjoy the growth. The fruit is the reward, but the journey is the joy. Here is a bonus pro tip that experienced growers use. It is called root pruning. When you repot your tree, do not just add fresh soil. Trim the outer layer of roots. Cut off about 1 inch from the root ball all around. This sounds harsh, but it stimulates new, fine root growth. These new roots are better at absorbing water and nutrients. It also keeps the tree smaller. By limiting the root size, you limit the tree size. This is how bonsai artists keep trees tiny. You can use this technique to keep your mango tree manageable in a pot. Do this every 2 or 3 years when you repot. Refresh the soil, trim the roots, and put it back in the same pot or a slightly larger one. This resets the clock and keeps the tree vigorous. Another hidden insight is about flowering triggers. Mango trees often need a period of cool, dry weather to set flowers. In the tropics, this is the dry season. In your pot, you can mimic this. In late fall, reduce watering significantly. Let the soil get quite dry. This stress signals the tree to prepare for reproduction. It thinks, conditions are getting tough, I need to make seeds. Then, when spring arrives and you increase water and warmth, the tree bursts into bloom. If you keep the tree wet and happy all winter, it may just grow leaves and never flower. Controlled stress is a powerful tool. Growing a mango tree in a small pot is not just about agriculture, it is about connection. It is about taking something wild and tropical and making it part of your daily life. Every time you water it, you are caring for a living thing. Every new leaf is a victory. Every flower is a promise. And when you finally hold that fruit, warm from the sun, grown by your hands, the taste is unlike anything you can buy. It is sweeter. It is richer. It tastes like success. You do not need a farm. You do not need perfect conditions. You just need the right knowledge. You need to respect the roots. You need to give it sun. You need to be patient. The steps we discussed today are universal. They work in New York, they work in London, they work in Tokyo. The principles of soil, light, and water are the same everywhere. The only variable is you, your attention, your care, your willingness to learn. So, what is your next step? Are you going to let that mango seed rot in the trash? Or are you going to wash it, dry it, and start the journey? Maybe you are ready to buy a dwarf tree. Maybe you have a pot sitting in the corner, waiting for a purpose. Whatever you choose, start small, start simple. Do not overwhelm yourself. Pick one step, master it, then move to the next. Gardening is a practice. It is not a performance. You will make mistakes. You will lose a leaf or two. That is okay. It is part of the learning. The tree is resilient. It wants to live. It wants to grow. Help it, and it will reward you. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend who loves plants. Share it with someone who thinks they cannot garden. Show them that it is possible. Leave a comment below. Tell me what variety you are growing. Tell me about your space. Are you on a balcony, a patio, a windowsill? I read every comment. Your stories inspire others. And remember, nature is patient. You can be too. Take a deep breath. Look at your hands. They are capable of creating life. Go out there and grow something beautiful. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay green, and I will see you in the next video.